Hi everyone, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here looking at this pile of books and thinking, what the fuck am I thinking? Yeah, I don't know. I've had a really weird day today. I've cried on camera. I've also been dealing with this stray pooch that came up to my neighbor last night, and she can't keep him in her house. So he spent the night with us last night, which was fine. And he's super sweet. He's absolutely beautiful. He's got to be like a husky shepherd, maybe like cattle dog or Australian shepherd mix. He's obviously someone's pet. However, I cannot find anything on the internet about this missing dog, and she drove around. He's been chipped, but the chip doesn't have the info for the owner on it. It's a shelter out of town, and that owner who adopted him from that shelter gave him to somebody else. So like, who the fuck? I don't know. It's just been a very frustrating morning, probably more for my neighbor because she did all the running around trying to figure this stuff out. And so now this beautiful pooch is gonna spend, I don't know, a couple days with me. Hopefully I can find his owner, because also like the shelters are full. And so boy, I've had a fucking day. Anyways, I'm going to be telling you today about the books that I'm planning on reading in March, hopefully. I picked out two really big books, so hopefully I'll get to those. The rest of these aren't super big. So the first one is a book that I did not finish last month, unfortunately. I kept meaning to, and listen, the end of my month was just, I talk about it in my wrap-up video. So this is Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. I'm about halfway through, almost, and this is about a ship crew in outer space, and they, I think, deal with like communication type of things, whatever that means in space. And they get a distress beacon signal, and they go to this place, and it is a ship that had previously disappeared. It was like a luxury space liner modeled after something like the Titanic, but in space. It was supposed to take a tour, like a year-long tour, and in the middle of its tour it disappeared, and now it's here, and there are a bunch of dead people in it. And so of course this crew needs to figure out what to do and stuff like that. I like it so far. I can't really tell if this is something I'm going to really love or just think is okay, but I have high hopes for it, so hopefully it doesn't let me down. Next, I'm going to pick up The School by Kelleher and Harriett Vidal. And this is about a young woman from California, of course, and she gets sent to school in New England, of course, because that's where all boarding schools are located. And she, I don't know, it seems like she's gonna have a bad time, you know what I mean? Like, there's something sinister is happening at the school, and, you know, very 80s horror. This I'm reading and hoping to include in my April trope video, which will be like horror school settings, kind of dark academia kind of a thing. And this is something for that. This month, also Savage Mountain by John Quick. This is about a vacation in the Smoky Mountains gone wrong, and I was wondering where the Smoky Mountains were, and a very nice person told me they're located in Tennessee, so I was wondering if they were in California. I don't know. I think those are the Sierra Nevada mountains maybe, but I could be totally wrong. My geography needs some work. Anyways, so this is like a vacation horror book. I think it's a rafting trip, a whitewater rafting trip gone wrong. And this I pulled out of my TBR jar last month, and I didn't get to it, but I don't want to like put it back on my shelf and forget about it again. So this will be my TBR jar pick again. And hopefully I get to it this month. I just ran out of time last month, you know? It just is like that sometimes. Next is my 5-star prediction for the month. This is The Rise and the Fall of the Dinosaurs, A New History of a Lost World by Steve Brusatte. And this is available on audio through my library, so I think I'm going to, this does have some pictures, so I will definitely be wanting to look at those, but I think also I will be listening when I can. I do love a nonfiction in audio form, And this is just about, you know, the history of dinosaurs, which I really like dinosaurs. So I'm excited about this. I have high hopes. This I'm also picking up in hopes of some dark academia vibes. This is Inspection by Josh Malerman. Oh my gosh. I mean, I had this same thing happen to me when this book came out. It matches my hair. It's my color. It's teal. This is about a separate boys and girls school, I believe, but neither of the students in the other school know that this other school exists. And it seems like maybe they just like don't ever leave the school. I'm not really sure. Of course, whenever anything comes out by Josh Malerman, it's very buzzy. And honestly, I liked Bird Box, but I'm so sick of hearing about Bird Box by now, and its sequel, which I have the opinion that it never should have happened. I haven't read it, so I don't know. I'm just kind of being a brat, but did Mallory need to happen, or was it just cashing in? And in either case, like, that's fine. You know, make that buck, Josh Malerman. But I feel kind of disenchanted when I think about Josh Malerman now. Even though I really liked Bird Box when I read it, and I really liked A House at the Bottom of a Lake. That was really great. So I'm hoping to get into this and really enjoy it and not have my weird, like, defiant thing that I do where it's like, if something's popular, I just don't want to like it. You know what I mean? Not with everything, but with a lot of things. It's like really annoying that I do that. Even to me, it's very annoying. So I'm hoping I like Inspection. It's a very beautiful cover, and there it is. Okay, I'm also hoping to get to this month The Empire of the Vampire by Kristoff. This is about a world where the sun hasn't risen for decades, and vampires are now the dominant figures on, I don't know if this is supposed to take place on Earth or if it's a different thing, but there's something about like a silver saint who is a member of a holy brotherhood that is supposed to defend the world from the vampires, and this person is imprisoned, and I really don't know like who we're following exactly in this, but it's just a really intriguing book, and it's very large. It's a big boy. Let's see, how many pages? Oh, the end pages in this are just absolutely gorgeous. 730 pages. Whoa, I don't want to drop you. Beautiful. I know. See, this dog, he's just so good. He's just laying on the floor. He is chilling. He was so good last night. Like, he obviously like lives in a house and is well trained, and so I have to imagine his owners are missing him. But like, why can't I find anything about this missing dog if he is indeed missing? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's been bothering me all day and all night. I woke up at like 4 a.m. this morning because I woke up because I was sleeping on the couch and it was like unfamiliar. I'm like, where am I? I was just on my own couch, but then also like, I was worried about this poor Poochie, and then I couldn't fall back to sleep. Anyway, the next book I'm hoping to get to is also 800 pages. This is House of Sky and Breath, and my award for the worst titled book does go to this book. This is by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book in the Crescent City series. It's like a otherworldly city, and you don't get much geography except for like what's in the city, which is kind of funny. And there are like humans and fae and shapeshifters, like wolves and half demons and angels and stuff like that. And so, you know, this is a continuation of the first book. I can't really tell you much about it. That's all I can tell you. Then I'm also getting to, hopefully, this is one that I'm probably going to read very soon. This is The Raptor and the Wren by Chuck Wendig. This is the 5th book in the Miriam Black series. I'm pretty sure there's only one more after this, and this series just gets better and better and better. And oh, the end of the fourth book, I have goosebumps even just thinking about it. It's really going to change the trajectory of this whole fucking story, and my god, I just can't. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see where this goes. This is such a great series. It's one that, like, I saw and I was like, okay, I'll try it out, and then I liked the first book, and then the second book was even better, and then the third book was better, and then the fourth book was better, and it's really just been really a fun experience. And they're just like so short and fast-paced and readable too. So, oh shit, and I totally fucking forgot. I'm reading The Raptor and the Wren and this next book as part of kind of like a little mini readathon, which is associated with the magical readathon that Book Roast does. The readathon, the big readathon, will be next month. So I will definitely be doing that. But this is about, like, I don't know, she's just come up with this really fantastic world that this readathon is set in. And last year you were a novice going to this school, and you had to cross the novice path, which is like a treacherous thing that will, it's kind of like the road, what do they call it in Pokemon? The road that brings you to the Elite Four. Anyways, it's like that, but like in this readathon, there's lots of trainers on the way, you know, and it's hard to get there, but once you get there, it will help you progress so that you can beat the Elite Four. So you go through this path, and there are challenges and stuff, and at the very end of it anyways, you get an invitation from a guild. So with that, there comes prompts for each guild, and there's like a conduit and something else, I can't remember. But the book I picked for the prompt that was a book that will have high stakes is Raptor and the Wren, of course, because Miriam Black has to make some really hard decisions in every book. So I'm imagining, especially with the way that, oh boy, book number 4 ended, and if you know, you know. If you don't, you should read it. There is going to be some high stakes. And then, let's see. The other prompt was to pick something with like bone or skeleton or something like that, either the word in the title or on the cover. So I chose, of course, Road of Bones by Christopher Golden, which is a very anticipated release that I'm so excited to get to. This is, oops, all my Nightworm stuff. This was in a Nightworms package, and I put all the stuff into this book apparently, and now it's all falling out. But this is about a documentarian who is driving down this road in Siberia called the Road of Bones, and there's also like, I think like an abandoned town and some very spooky things happening, and oh my gosh, it's just, it seems like it's going to be perfect. I really hope I love it. And that is what I have for you today. Those are the, I think there's 9 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books that I'm hoping to read this month. Hopefully I'm not overwhelming myself with these big books, but the other ones seem to be fairly short, some of them. So we'll see how I do with this. I'm trying to have a fun time and not make this a job, which I have a hard time with. Like, of course I love reading, but I will make it a job for myself if I don't be mindful about it. So this is what I have. Let me know if you've read any of these and what you thought about them. Let me know what you're reading this month. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.